concerned driver captures this car swerving all over the road. Police say that's what it can look like when someone gets behind the wheel high. And in another case, this is what it can look like when a driver is under the influence.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
All right, look straight ahead.
Oh,
Keep looking right at that glow stick.
okay.
When they pull the driver over, a screening follows.
It's not clear, but I see it.
These are the signs they're looking for. Things like eyelid tremors, lack of convergence, or when someone can't cross their eyes when focusing on an object coming toward their nose, or when someone starts nodding off. For police, spotting someone drunk is pretty straightforward. There's a breathalyzer, a legal limit. For marijuana, that's not the case. Instead, there's a specific training for officers.
All right, go ahead, tilt your head back, close your eyes.
Arizona's Family Investigates is getting exclusive access to the Drug Recognition Expert, or DRE, training.
Hands down by your side.
We watched as officers practiced what they'd spent more than 2 weeks in the classroom learning.
1001, 1002, 1003.
It's part of a 12-step screening that tests someone's vitals, balance, coordination, and response time.
Right.
Used to identify drivers who are high on marijuana and/or other drugs.
Left.
Mesa PD has been leading the charge. Here they're helping train Washington State troopers.
I'm going to come up next to your face. I'm going to look at your pupils, okay?
The idea is when police suspect someone is on drugs, one of these experts responds, running this evaluation, charting the results, and ultimately determining if they should be charged.
It's what is happening at the time of contact that the officers document to determine whether somebody is under the influence of marijuana.
George Shui is a Mesa police officer and the drug recognition expert coordinator for the governor's office of highway safety.
Do you find that there's a perception out there that people can drive under the influence of marijuana?
Yes, and I think the main thing is that there's a lack of education. They say, well, I smoked 3 hours ago, I waited till my high was done, and that's why I drove. Well, your body's still affected by marijuana.
In Arizona, the law states if you're impaired to the slightest degree, you can be charged with driving under the influence. Other states use THC in someone's system, the active ingredient in cannabis, setting a specific limit. Officer Shui says that can create problems.
Everybody metabolizes marijuana differently, and everybody is affected by marijuana differently based on their exposure to it.
Stacy Good, an assistant city prosecutor in Mesa, agrees, saying regular marijuana users would almost always have some THC in their system.
You may develop a tolerance for it, and so we're doing these field sobriety tests and we don't see as many symptoms. The biggest challenge in a DUI case is proving that impairment, which is our obligation as prosecutors.
And that's where these drug recognition experts come in.
In our courtroom, they are labeled as expert witnesses.
Under new leadership at the governor's office of highway safety, there's been a push to have a DRE in every law enforcement agency statewide. But having more of these officers hasn't led to more stops and screenings. DPS has the most, 63 troopers trained. Yet in 2023, they only performed 181 evaluations. Mesa PD did the most testing. 23 DREs conducted 287 evaluations, but some question their value.
They're basically just fluffing up the prosecutor's case. And they're not really presenting what's good, reliable science.
Bob McWhirter, a longtime defense attorney who's handled dozens of DUI cases, says calling them experts is misleading.
There's just really no norm studies about this amount of marijuana, this size person, this type of metabolism, and this amount of impairment.
And until they've been set, he argues drug recognition experts shouldn't be used. Good disagrees and is working with other prosecutors across Arizona.
We are going to go forward on those cases. We're going to prosecute them to the best of our abilities, and we're expecting our officers and our drug recognition experts to do the same thing.